happy with the engine we put in for the race, so that was a minor concern. And in the race, one of the cars is using a little oil and the other is using a little water, but aside from that, they're running like clockwork.
And using rather a lot more oil than the ProDrive Ferraris is Brière's WR prototype, and rather selfishly sticking on the racing line and throwing all that oil out of the back of the car, making the track very slippery indeed. Behind the Bentleys and the Audis, there were all sorts of battles going on in the LMP 900 prototype class, and here's Scott Maxwell in the number 12 Paynos holding off Sohail Ahari in the Courage Peugeot. All getting a bit fraught there in the GTS class with the GTS race leader. Now with Thomas Enger at the wheel, trying to get past the number 72 Luke Alphon car. Problems for the Japanese Team Go Audi car there with the fuel injection unit, which cost them about 6 minutes. In the GT class, the number 93 car back on track now. Sascha Maassen gets out, Emmanuel Collard gets in. Overall then, after 12 hours, Bentley, Audi, and the Dome Paynos Courage battle getting very strong. The Riley and Scott still running after some troubles, but the GTS leading Ferraris already up to 12th place overall, and in the 675 class, the Reynard Lehmann in 17th place overall. Jamie Davis takes the class-leading GTS number 88 car back out again. And problems for Bentley, problems with the battery for the number 8 Bentley. There's a change needed here.
Unfortunately, we got a battery problem, low voltage, and I've got information in the car telling me there's low voltage, but then no radio, so I couldn't inform the team. Triple stinting is quite tough in that car because very small cockpit and not a lot of airflow, but you know, we've got to do it and we've got to try and make it work. Just unfortunate about that because that's really cost us a lot of time.
Now it did cost Mark and his co-drivers David Brabham and Johnny Herbert some time. In fact, so much so that the champion Audi number 6 has closed to within just 2 minutes of the number 8 Bentley. Emanuele Pirro staying at the wheel, but they've got a problem as well, and that means that they're going to have to get back out onto the track in a second or two. The reason for backing into the garage for work is you can have more men working on the car than you can in the pit lane. Problems continue for the Corvette, this time no ability to shut the door without some sticky tape. The Racers Group Porsche, Kevin Buckler, puts himself into the gravel trap momentarily. And Nicolas Manassia making his return to Le Mans, pressing hard in 8th position, but still just not quick enough to get up there among those who are fighting for top 6 positions. Jan Lammers is quick enough, and his battle with the number 11 Paynos continues unabated, joined as they are by Gounod's Courage with the Judd engine. Confirmation from the local paper as to how much Bentley are dominating this race. In the GT class, the battle continues very closely, with the Alex Job car now only leading the Orbit racing car for a matter of some 13.5 seconds. During the night, the 360 Maranellos had threatened a little, but they've had various mechanical problems, and this is the last one remaining. Brabham carving his way through the field there, but he's still a whole lap behind after 16 hours of racing, the number 7 Bentley. The champion car leads the Japanese car, and the battle continues further down the LMP 900 class. David Brabham very keen to win here. His elder brother Jeff won here some time ago, and he wants one on the family trophy cabinet as well. Jan Lammers, very unlike him to have had a spin there, just come in a little wide into the fast right-hander before Indianapolis, taken him onto the gravel, given himself a puncher, cause or effect, you're never quite sure. And also now the number 11, that's Gunnar Jeanette in the Pénals Elan. He's just gone straight on in at Arnage, but it doesn't look as though he's done too much damage to the car. Yes, in the end, quite a slow little impact, so he's got to get back round, and so's Jan Lammers. John Bosch waits for him to return. The third driver, of course, is the extremely experienced Andy Wallace. They've got to get that car back, and all this gives the Courage Peugeots some hope of catching up. They've had a relatively untroubled time, but if Lammers is in the gravel, the Pénals is in the wall, maybe they'll get to close down a little bit. Christensen leads, but what was it like for Dindo Capello?
The last session was very good. I did 4 stints, 52 laps. It's a little bit too much. I feel very tired at the moment, but the tires were fantastic from the beginning to the end, and it made no sense to change after 3 stints because I could still push. Everything was under control, and I'm very happy about the choice we did to stay in the car for the 4th stint.
Hard work, but very successful for Capello, but not so down in the Corvette pit. More problems.
Well, what it is, it's a bearing on the front of the transmission that went out. It became very loud. It was on my end lap, and we were lucky to just get in. And in order to replace it, we have to replace the whole gearbox. So that'll take about 12 minutes.
Gearbox bearing failure on the Corvette, but a more serious bearing failure on the wheel of the number 80 550 ProDrive Ferrari had caused Davidson to have a big accident.
Yeah, Anthony's okay. He's had a bit of a nasty knock on the head from the car going in sideways and bashing either the seat or the roll cage with his crash hat. But he's okay. He's in good spirits. He's gone to Le Mans Hospital for a scan just to be double safe. But we were even having a bit of a laugh and a joke in the medical centre this morning. So I think he should be fine.
Good to know that young Davidson wasn't severely hurt. After nearly 3/4 of the race gone, Bentley leads Bentley from the Audi in the Audi, but the battle is between numbers 15, 11, 13, and with occasional interventions by the Courage Peugeots. The second of the Pénals has got a problem here. This is David Salins at the wheel. The whole rim tyre has come right off the rim, and he's got no option but to plunge straight through the gravel on the Mulsanne chicanes. Avoids the tyre barrier, and he's got to see if he can get the car the whole way round the rest of the lap now. But in fact, there's so much rubbish on the track that poor David loses it completely, and sadly, after a great run, he's off into the barrier unhurt, but there at the side of the track, frustrated and out of the race. And in what will be the last year of the 675 prototype class at Le Mans, the Reynard Lehman still leads by miles from here, the DBA Zytek. Elgaard takes the car out. Well, that's it for the Nasamax effort, following an engine explosion and a fire. John McNeil looks back over the weekend.
They had a big drama in the warm-up this morning, where there was really a ridiculously simple problem with the electronics on the engine, but it caused an enormous amount of damage, and we ended up playing catch-up all day.
Nasamax happily will be returning to Le Mans next year. In essence, their goal, to raise awareness of the alternatives to fossil fuels, has been achieved.
We had no trouble with the refueling. We had no trouble. It's not a fuel-related issue, that's for sure. But engines often do go bang at Le Mans on the best of cars. No, it's been a success in so many ways. It's just disappointing to finish so early, really.
But it's Team Nasamax who received the ACO's Communications Award. Janice Minton accepts from President Michel Cosson. Well, renewable fuels have made their debut.